Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin, the crypto analysis channel that will help you make better decisions regarding your crypto investments. Today, we're going to talk about Ripple and if you should or should not invest in Ripple in 2018. As of today, Ripple has a market capitalization of $33 billion at a price of almost 85 cents. And let's open the graph. So the first important step is to understand what is Ripple. If you are looking to invest in this cryptocurrency, what is Ripple? What does it represent? What is it trying to do? So as a first step, we can go to their website, and as their website says, they're the only blockchain solution for global payments. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to improve what already exists. So some people say it's a disruptive technology. Some other people say it's not because they're just improving on a technology that exists using blockchain. This technology is the Swift transfer or telecommunication network. Uh, so SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, just cross-border payments system. And how it works nowadays in the banking system is if you want to send money abroad, you contact your bank and then you have to fix the exchange rate you're gonna sell by, and they're gonna use the SWIFT telecommunication system to send the money to the bank abroad that you're trying to send it to or buy it from. And this can take up to 3-4 days. If you're lucky, everything's gonna go smoothly and everything will be done in 24 hours. But there's also risk. So if you're taking 3-4 days to buy or sell a different currency, there's exchange rate fluctuations, there's different risks that are involved, systematic risks. For example, if the SWIFT network just stops working, all of the international payments and cross-border payments stop working. So these are risks that nowadays are very important to pay attention to, just because they can affect the whole system, a worldwide system. And what Ripple is trying to do is a similar network using blockchain. And what they're doing is also doing cross-border payments, but with faster transactions and lower costs. So Ripple will send your money across a border anywhere in the world within seconds, compared to nowadays, if you're lucky, 24 hours. So this is a major improvement to what we have nowadays in the era of computers and internet. Just having your money travel the world in a day, 2-3 days, it's ridiculous. We should improve on that, and that's what Ripple is trying to do, and why a lot of people like Ripple, because it will change how money is sent outside of borders or outside your country borders. But first, we gotta understand exactly what is Ripple. So they have their blockchain is called RippleNet, and Ripple. So if we go to CoinMarketCap, so XRP is just a portion of the company Ripple. Ripple is a company. RippleNet is the blockchain. XRP is just a token used on RippleNet. And as we can see on their own website, they have 3 different businesses within the company: Xcurrent, Xrapid, and XVia. So Xcurrent allows companies to move money across borders instantly. So this is mostly for companies. It's just if a bank has $100 million in the United States and it needs 50 million pounds in the UK, they would do it through Xcurrent. The most important part is that Xcurrent does not use XRP. So companies that are using Xcurrent right now, they're not actually buying or doing all these transactions with XRP, which is the important part. So the next business line for Ripple and the RippleNet network is Xrapid, and this is mostly used for payments into emerging markets, like it says right here in their own websites. because when you're going to an emerging market, you need pre-funded local currency. So if you're going to India, you need to use their local currency, and this has a high liquidity risk and cost to the company, because if exchange rates fluctuate a lot more for emerging markets than developed countries. So XRapid is lowering the capital requirement for liquidity for these types of transactions. Here, the important part is that XRapid uses XRP. Again, this one uses the token XRP. This one was the latest to be released. I think most companies that have a deal with Ripple are still testing XRapid, so there's not a wide use yet. As you can see here from the graph on the Ripple website, the bank wants to send money to an emerging market, and then they have to contact the bank in that market. If you want to invest in India, you have to contact a bank in India and have the local currency, and then they will do the rest. So how it works is that XRP is a token that will work as a benchmark. So all the other currencies will be traded against XRP, as you can see here. So if the bank has XRP, they'll exchange a certain amount of XRP, or they'll buy with dollars XRP, and then with XRP they'll buy whatever local currency they want. Then they send the money to the bank, and everything is done within seconds, and then they can invest or do whatever they wanted to do with that money in the local currency. So it just makes the whole process a lot more efficient and faster. The third business line is XVIA, and XVIA is still in development, and it's slowly coming out this year. It is similar to Xcurrent, but allows entities besides banks, like corporations or payment providers, to send money through banks. So not just banks using Ripple, but also now corporations can use the RippleNet blockchain via XVIA. Another important aspect is that XVIA does not use XRP. So out of the three business lines within Ripple, only XRapid uses the XRP token that you see listed on CoinMarketCap. So let's jump into the reasons why you should or should not invest in Ripple. First, let's start with all the reasons why you should invest in Ripple. First, Ripple has its own blockchain, so now there's a hype around it. So if you're the type of investor that likes to follow hypes and ride that train, that should be the moment. And as we can see from this graph, again, always look at the log scale graph, because you want to see a 1% change equally divided into the graph, and not equally divided prices, because that will give you a different sense. Just look at the difference from this graph with the ridiculous growth from 25 cents to over $3.20. And let's see, December 9th to to January 5th. Within 15 days, it multiplied by 10. But if you look at the log scale, it still has a big increase, or here. So it has a big increase, but it's not that this absolutely ridiculous jump that the linear scale shows. So if you're looking at this graph, it makes a little more sense, because you can see that every time it goes up quite a lot relatively to what the price was, then it comes down slowly, stabilizes, then it goes up again. So here it faced a pretty, let's see, from 2013 until March 2017, it was pretty much stable, we could say, between 2 cents and less than 1 cent, and then it just exploded to around 30 cents, stabilized for a little bit, and then up to $3. Today we're 84 cents, 85 cents. It's fluctuating a little bit. So if you like the hype, then it's still a fairly cheap price compared to what it reached. If you believe it's going to reach this level again, it's a good price. If you don't, then just don't invest. Another reason Another reason why you should invest in Ripple is because it's trying to improve on an existing technology. Some people say disrupt a technology because it's changing transaction times across borders from 24 hours at least, maybe 48, 72 hours to a few seconds with extremely low transaction costs. This would just make the whole banking system a lot faster, more trustworthy, and you have trillions of dollars flowing every day through that system, through payments across borders. So a lot of people believe that if all the banks adopted the RippleNet, used Ripple, then the price would just skyrocket. Now let's move to some reasons why you should not invest in Ripple. When I was doing research, I found it was really interesting. I found this Google document that was posted into the xrpchat.com. So it was created by this user, Byron, and he shared with us through this chat. And I double checked a few of the companies to see if the data was correct, and it was. Some of it might not be up to date. But what they did is checked all the partners, the current partners that are publicly available in the Ripple website. I can show you. So if we go to the home page, here you can see some members, and if you click here, you can see more members. So what they did, they went through it to see what part of Ripple they were using: Xcurrent, Xrapid, or XVIA. And what they found, there's a really cool chart here. So what they found, out of all partners that Ripple has already released, only 1.7% is using Xrapid, which is the business line that actually uses the XRP token. So out of hundreds of companies that already are, or that already have a partnership with Ripple, only 1.7% actually are dealing with XRP on a day-to-day basis using the Xrapid business line. 5.9% using XVIA, and everything else using Xcurrent. Just because if we look down here, we can see the majority are just banks. And a lot of what banks do, they just want to send their own money across borders to their own branches in other countries. So this just makes the transaction costs for these banks a lot lower, and we all know that banks love decreasing costs for themselves and just earning that extra money. So they have a breakdown by country of the companies, of all partners. You can see majority in Japan, Australia, USA has about 10%. And we can see that, so from the companies using Ripple, 17 are currently testing Xrapid. So they're in a beta phase, we could see, or they're in beta mode, or testing the network to see how actually Xrapid does in certain conditions. So 17 companies are doing that, and then 26 companies are currently testing Xcurrent. But this, if you look at this graph, it is interesting to see that they always advertise 100 companies, over 100 companies, banks with a lot of money. But if you look into the details, only a few of them are using the part of the blockchain that uses XRP, the token. So if you want to invest in the token, a lot of people, I was reading blogs, a lot of people are saying that the price should not be this high. A lot of people are even saying, even if Ripple takes over Swift and it completely takes over 100% of what Swift does today, so it would move around $5 trillion every day, banks do not want to have XRP with them. They don't want the price fluctuations to affect what they own. So they'll buy instantly, make the transaction, and then sell it they will not keep XRP. And the price of XRP right now is going because people are holding XRP, expecting the price to go up. So one estimate could be that even if $5 trillion are moving every day through the Ripple current, banks would not hold it. And then the price could be below 500 million. The market capitalization for Ripple would be $500 million and not $33 billion like a lot of people expect, or like it is right now. So if the price goes down to 500 million again, the price could actually drop instead of increasing, because banks just want to use the XRP to use the network, to use the blockchain, and that's it. They don't want to keep it for speculative reasons. So as we can see here, CNBC had an article that was just talking about that Ripple as a startup has over 100 clients as mainstream finance warms to blockchain. This was from October 2017. But again, just highlighting what has been talked. If we just read this article, you'll think, okay, I'm going to buy Ripple because it's going to be huge and the price will just explode. But if you analyze it closer, and only a small percentage of companies are actually using XRapid, which uses XRP, then maybe the price that it is at right now was caused by misinformation from people. They just read that there are a lot of partnerships out there, but they don't really know what Ripple does. And then that in the future will affect the price, because people will see that the price skyrocketed for some reason, but not for the correct reason. It just skyrocketed because people thought Ripple was just one thing and didn't have different separate business lines. So these are the reasons why maybe you should invest in Ripple. If you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you are investing in Ripple and why, or why we should not invest in Ripple. And I'll see you guys in the next video.